All right, as promised, it is time for one-on-one, always having the guests that you would like to hear from and, of course, get to know better and much more. He is not a stranger to this show. He was here last time when, there was preparations to have Rwanda participate in the Big Brother Africa reality TV competition. We wished him all the best. And, of course, he managed to get, into the house to represent Rwanda as a housemate that was eyeing the $300,000 in the game. But of course, fortunately or unfortunately, he was evicted before the end of the game. And he's here with me in the studio of 89.7 Contact FM. His name is Frank Rukundo. Welcome.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
First of all, I have beef with you.
What's going on?
Beef number one. We promised each other that you're going to tell Biggie to call you Rukundo. Oh. But then it just turned to Frankie. What happened?
You know what? The whole thing was just so fast. Like it was so fast that sometimes when I was like, I had a whole bunch of questions aligned. So
okay.
Yeah. So when questions just like bam, bam, bam. So I kind of lost control a little bit, but then I kind of remembered when it was too late. So I was like, you know what? It's Frankie.
It's Frankie, and it's going to stay Frankie.
Yeah.
Do you think that maybe contributed in maybe reducing the authenticity of your Rwandanness, by choosing Frankie? Do you think you lost part of that being Rwandese more?
No. Biggie himself, that's not his name. Mm-hmm. Biggie, Big Brother, who knows him? You know what I mean? So the fact that he's an African and he calls himself Biggie, Big Brother, whatever you want to call him, to me, if you're talking about authenticity, then that's not authentic, in regards to Africa. So I think, Frankie's pretty much the same as Biggie.
All right.
Yeah.
And you're happy with that?
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's talk about your experience there. It's for the first time we're talking to a person who was in there. We've seen some of who have stayed, day and night just watching and maybe following the show, but they've not known what exactly goes in there psychologically. What goes in there? Could you just give us some info on what really happens in there and your experience in there?
The thing is, it's a reality TV show. You know what I mean? Just like any other reality TV show, except that this one is pretty much different. It's something that has to do with how somebody really gets to interact with different people from different backgrounds. And to me, I think was Biggie's a very smart dude. Just getting a whole bunch of people from different backgrounds and different cultures, put them in a house full of cameras and, ladies and females and males just all together. So they just want to see how you interact with all these people, and they just want to see what can you do to make yourself, just to make yourself to please Africa. You know what I mean? Because the thing is not all about pleasing the housemates, because housemates, their objectives to get rid of you. So basically something which is more of a mind game, but at the same time just to see how entertaining you can be when it comes to pleasing Africa. So I think it's a brilliant experience if you can be able to really go through that for 2 months. I think it's something tremendous.
Normally, the understanding of the game is that, or the organizers of the game usually say that, beyond just entertaining Africa, they feel that the show should or is actually uniting the continent, bringing all these contestants from different countries or parts of the continent. But there's been criticism on how that part is real, because looking at what happens is that the show is actually in a way dividing the continent along regional grounds on voting lines and the conflicts that come in there. They now become personal. We've seen this on social media platforms. What is your thought on that?
You know what? Honestly, I don't want to talk about how Biggie does his game. But first of all, we need to be very appreciative of the fact that somebody from nowhere all of a sudden woke up in the morning and was like, you know what, I think I should develop something like this. So the fact that he came up with that, with such a concept, and was able to get like sponsors, people to get on board and just sponsor him, I think that was quite tremendous. So before people blame whatever he did, I think they should first of all appreciate what he did. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I personally, I'm just gonna talk on the participants' perspective.
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, I don't think I would
go into the other parts.
I don't know what he does. I don't know. He did not force me to get into it. You know what I mean? So me signing up to it, it was a personal decision. So dude, I don't know whatever he did. I don't know whatever he does or whatever he
and
does.
Even how he looks like.
I just wanted to make. I just wanted to prove a point.
Yes.
Yeah, to represent a country that is actually always, partaking. Like it's you see like people like Samantha for the first time. She nominated me an author. She said, "I don't know Rwanda." And I don't know what is its role in Big Brother. So to me, that was the greatest sense of ignorance. But at the same time, she had, she reserves the right to say whatever she wants to say.
And then coming from South Africa,
coming from South Africa, I am not really, angry or whatever. But when I was walking around, I had people say, I would love to go I would love to go to Africa. And these are the people who are actually from South Africa. So to me, maybe that's how the kind of the school system they go through is the one that really teaches them how to say things like that. So if she could actually have the audacity to say, I nominate Arthur and Frank from Rwanda just because I don't know Rwanda. I don't know
what they're doing.
Yeah, so basically to me that was a little bit of an insult, but at the same time, she needs a little bit of more schooling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about your fellow East Africans, because you've spoken about Samantha, who's from South Africa, far away from Rwanda, miles and miles. But we have people who are just from the neighboring country, Kenya and Tanzania, and even Uganda, who nominated you guys.
If you see what was how I planned my game was the fact that the first week. We were 26 and one of us was just safe.
Yes.
Which was Laveda from Tanzania.
Head of house, yes.
Yeah, the head of the house. So the 25 of us were just up for possible eviction, right? So the first thing that I did was to really keep quiet for the first week. I was strategizing to see what exactly is going on. And if you saw, I was very quiet, not because I'm a quiet person, but just because I wanted to prove a point that I just that was Frankie's game. And I had prepared myself mentally, physically, and psychologically, if I may say that. So basically, I just wanted to see who is smarter, who is louder, who is quite cunning and snaky moves.
So you're studying them.
Yeah. And trust me, man, at the end of the week, I was able to come up with very significant results. And so if you could definitely see on the second week and the third week and the fourth week and the fifth week, I was evolving. Like every time they gave me a role to perform,
you'd put in your best.
I would put. That's why I was able to act like a gay person. I was able to act like an Indian father. I was able to act like a pastor, Mother Nature. These are things that I just wanted to focus more on the performances. I did not sing so much because I didn't want to. Well, I sang sometimes, I really did sing, but I just didn't want to show them that I just wanted to, balance. So my strategy was towards the end of the season. That's when I was going to blow up. Just show these people that Frankie can sing.
So do you think that you were denied that chance by getting evicted?
No, I was not denied. It was not denied.
Do you think you managed to show all that?
Absolutely,
within this period?
There's sometimes when I was giving performances as a singer and I would just blow out. But I think they did not give them a taste of my own medicine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about this whole.
So coming back to the East African thing, I think at least they nominated me just because they had personal reasons, not because they did not know Rwanda or they did not know what a Rwandese was doing in the Big Brother house. You know what I mean? So them nominating me, they had their own reasons, and it's a game. I expected everybody to nominate me, so it's not like I was really pissed off. But as Frankie, I made sure that I do not nominate anybody from East Africa. That was it. Well, eventually I was going to do it, but not in the early ages.
Okay. So you feel there was sort of some betrayal in the East African kind of context?
You know what? Not really. Not really. Maybe that was their plan to eliminate. Here's the thing. You could eliminate an East African. For example, eliminate the Kenyan and Tanzanian and whatever. And then you're thinking probably once they're all gone, then you're going to be able to you'll be able to have
to
the
win
votes.
the whole East Africa.
East Africa.
Yes.
Yeah, and on the other hand, it did not work.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think, for example, Kenya, Sabina and Alusa were the very first people to leave. Well, Sabina left in the second week, Alusa left in the third week. So I thought, now the Kenyans are gone. I did not really count on them so much, but I knew if somebody from Kenya is to vote, maybe they're gonna be like, yeah, that's our boy from Kenya, from Rwanda. So let's do it. Yeah, it was a little bit a good feeling, but at the same time, you're like, oh, my East African fella is gone.
It's gone.
Yeah.
So talking of this, because this week possible eviction, we have Idris, we have Godse, we have Samantha, and of course there is this whole question of who is Frankie supporting in this particular case, putting it in context with also the issue of the people who nominated you versus what you'd think, the person who you think you would expect to be safe.
I personally, I had a little bit of, Hoysi and I were kind of close, but not really that close, right? And she never nominated me. So, man, I don't care if she really goes through.
Okay.
I think I just pray so hard that she goes through because she saw the kind of person that I was, and she was close to me in any way. Sometimes when I would break down and end up, breaking down, just crying, and she comes to my corner, and then she taps on my back. Yo, that's something really tremendous.
All right. That you'd like. So Rwandans like her, they should.
Oh, yeah, man, I think Rwandans should definitely go for her because talking about Idris is, he's my fellow East African bull. When you take a look at what he used to say about me, and, man, he's a snake. So if you're a snake, just, and people like Samantha, the fact that she did not know what Rwanda was doing in the Big Brother house. What was she doing in the Big Brother house, first of all? You know what I mean?
Yes, I get you.
Yeah, so to me, if she can go, man, it's not like I'm going to celebrate, but still, I think, it's what comes around goes around. So, yeah.
So they should not now come asking for votes from Rwandese, yet they never want.
You do not know, like JJ. JJ put me up for eviction, and then I'm leaving the house. He's like, "Oh, can I hold you? Can I raise this flag for you?" I'm like, "Dude, are you serious?
Are you mad?
Well, I didn't want to be like that, but I took it on a diplomatic way of solving things. I was like, no, it's all good, man. I just want to take my.
Let's talk of the conflicts because we're also running out of time. Yeah. There was the happy moments, but of course there were the conflicts part where you even threatened to break someone's neck. This was tired. What was going on? I mean, would you have done it if he went ahead and he wanted to fart on your face?
It comes back to. Like I see, if you actually followed me that well, you came to realize that Frankie was the most laid back person. I gave these, most of them were really, I was older than them. I was 33. Most of them were 21, 20, their early 20s, mid 20s. Tayo is 28. The difference between Tayo and that is only 5 years. Dude, when I was 28, I had a degree. I don't know his educational background. When I was 28, I was married. I had a kid. I had businesses going on. My records were playing and things like that. So when I was 28, I did not think of fighting on someone.
Things,
So, but on the other hand, I do not blame him. I don't know him. I just came to know him when I was in the house.
Yes.
So when in the first week, he was really such a bad character. But when, this is how I deal with issues like that. When somebody comes to me in such a manner, I need to see why is he behaving like this? What is the motive? So as regards Big Brother, his motive was to piss me off, so I could definitely punch him and then get disqualified.
Okay.
So I was smarter than that. I was the Muhammad Ali. He was, you know what I mean? So I was like, okay. So he was like, blah blah blah. He just kept quiet. But then I took him aside. I was like, you know what? Just break it down. Just don't, please. Just let me do my And he was like, okay. He understood it. And then on a Wednesday. It was a performance, and he went on to Arthur. He said Arthur's performance was whack compared to Idris. So that's when I really rose my voice. I'm like, you do not criticize somebody's performance. You do not pay his bills. You do not know where he comes from. And that was something that was legit. You do not. He went through auditions just like you.
So in the end,
you have no prerogative to to say anything negative about his performance.
Interesting enough is towards the end of the show, you guys became very close,
So
very
here's the
tight.
thing.
Yes.
So that was Wednesday.
Yes.
You remember in the first week I nominated him because I did not like his character. But on the other hand, I wanted to see who is this person? What makes him behave like that? So basically I was playing a psychological game. So in the second week, this guy started breaking down some of his, he started letting his guards down, right? And to me, it was a win because I had known this kind of what kind of person he was, what was the motive, and what is he behaving the way he's behaving. You know what I mean? So when he started breaking down, telling me some of his childhood stories, to me that was tremendous because if I really don't believe you, I don't see why I should actually tell you some of my history, especially my childhood history.
So you kind of
I was
became connected now.
Yeah, I think he's such a nice guy. And then eventually, guess what? He was such a nice guy. And in the third week, that's when we had that altercation because when he started calling me Canadian, he said that I speak a lot of English. Like, you Canadian. I'm like, yo, you don't call me Canadian. So I gave him 3 warnings, and then he kept on calling me Canadian. I'm like, yo, you are killing my market. There's no way people out there who are watching this thing. So, we had a big altercation. I said, you know what, you do that, I'm going to break your neck. But literally, I was not going to break his neck.
So in the end, I've also seen on your Facebook, you've called on Rondon's Go for Tire. So is he the one you've seen eventually for winning? This is the guy you'd go for.
Even this is how I see things. That even Mandela speaks about things like this. People behave in certain ways just because situations force them to behave like that.
Yes.
But when you give these people a chance, you see the tremendous change, tremendous change that comes along. So for me, who's in the house on the very first Sunday, until last Sunday when I was evicted, I have been able to see who Tayo is and what kind of person he is and what exactly he's heading to. So he's actually heading to become a better man.
Okay.
So I think, you know what, if somebody's able to change, he needs the chance to do whatever he wants to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in conclusion, where next? What next? What are you going to be doing? Are you still going to stay in Rwanda? Are you bouncing back to Canada?
You know what
projects?
This is Frankie has a lot of projects going on. There's a whole bunch of things coming along that I'm actually talking to different people, and of course I'm definitely gonna go back to Canada and see my son. I miss him so much, and if his mom cannot bring him down here, I think I'm just gonna cross.
You're gonna cross over, but career-wise, are you gonna continue modeling? Oh, you're going to the studio. Okay, Prometheus. You spoke about Prometheus. You're gonna be doing something.
Yeah,
with him.
we definitely planning something together, and if God wishes, we definitely. Either I fly to Namibia or he flies to Rwanda. So, we have a lot of things coming along. So basically, I think we're just going to come up with something incredible.
I want us to end, but I want to ask you, what was the toughest thing to do in there? Because you had cameras all over the place.
Yes.
And I'm told by some people who are watching that you had a very hard time even going to answer Nature's call because you were worried about the cameras. What was the toughest thing in there?
No, Nature's call. He's in the toilet. There was a camera.
Yes,
but that camera was not on. You've never seen anybody in that office. Yeah, but when it comes to
shower,
the shower. First of all, we had like three sprinklers, right? Shower sprinklers. Is that how you say it?
Yes.
So 3, and we were 26. So you can imagine. So when Biggie announced we have hot water,
everybody wanted to do that.
And me being the older person,
you want your brothers and sisters to go
to just go and have fun. So by the time they finish up,
hot water is gone.
It was just 1 hour, right? So, and guess what? I actually prefer taking a cold shower. Yeah, so when we were done, I definitely went on and had my cold shower, which is
so.
Awesome.
What was the toughest thing in there then?
The toughest was actually sharing a bathroom with ladies.
How tough was that?
To me, honestly, I'm a man. I'm 33 years old. My blood is warm and funky and fresh. So, you're hanging around, you're looking at all these ladies, the boobies are all over the place and the ass is all over the place. You're like, okay, so what's going on here? Much as I really want to stay away from this, but there's the biological reaction that comes along. So all I had to do was to just pretend the anaconda's around.
But you had a chance to be with Ella. I mean, what happened?
Ella was just in the first week she comes in. She's like, "Yo, Frankie, I think you cool." I'm like, "Woo, you cool too." And then I think on the Tuesday, I told her straight up, "Man, I think And then she's like, "Oh, really? I think you're cool." Then we had this thing going on, and then guess what? Then I'm this kind of person who is so particular and very, like, when I look for, there's always something that I'm looking for. You don't need to be beautiful, but there's something about you that really and gets me away. You know what I mean? So Ella had this thing about her that was so good. Her, baby doll eyes and the way she spoke, and basically. But then when I came to know her better, I came to realize that she was not my type.
Okay. So nothing going on.
Yeah.
And nothing will go on.
Her attitude sometimes would just go. So she was very hard to predict. She was unpredictable. So to me, when I can't really figure you out, and guess what? She also used to say the same thing. She's like, "Frankie, I've tried to figure you out, but I cannot." So, if she was like a job on the right, you know what I mean? So we just like this. So we ended up just being friends. But then eventually she was like, "Frankie," she was drunk. If you had a chance, you should have told this to me. I'm like, "What the heck are you talking about?" And she's like, "No, you cannot." I'm like, "Okay." So to me, I think there's no way. There's no way. If I was to catch up with anybody in that house, there's no way it could have been Ella.
All right. There you go. From the horse's mouth, we're done.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Frankie,
you,
for being too frank and being able to tell us all these things.
Absolutely.
Spilling all the beans out here. And of course, those who are doubting, of course, they've heard it from you.
Absolutely.
On so many things that we've been talking about while you are away. But of course, thank you so much for being with us. And we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
There you go. One-on-one weekend edition comes to a wrap, wrapping up all the week's shows right here. My guest today was Frankie Joe. Thank you so much. My name, as always, is Eugene Anangwe. Goodbye.